Welcome back to the Monster Picker channel. You know, driving by and there happens to be a Lowe's here. Can you believe this? Hey, we're trying to do a video here, shut up. Anyways, sorry about that, folks. Anyways, so we're here at Lowe's. We're checking out the tables, the lighting is perfect, and got Aaron and Big Man here, and we all saw this movie right here, Suburban Commando. It's a comedy sci-fi film from 1991, and I thought, well, let's go ahead and do a review. We all watched it independently, and we come together at Lowe's to do the review for you. And I know you guys appreciate it, so click that like button and subscribe.
Hulkamania sweeps the universe. Hulk Hogan, wrestling superstar, leads Christopher Lloyd and Shelley Duvall on a hilarious and high-action comedy adventure. The Hulkster is Shep Ramsey, a valiant galactic warrior temporarily stranded on Earth, living with a mild-mannered architect and his wife, and 2 children. Shep's efforts to adapt to the suburban life are hilariously unsuccessful, and relations with the neighbors soon reach crisis proportion. But when his evil nemesis from across the universe tracks him to his backyard bungalow, Shep needs all the help from Earthlings he can get, even from his bumbling landlord. Featuring fantastic special effects and the commanding and inspired comic presence of Hulk Hogan, the non-stop laughter and action will delight families from any planet.
Now we cover, what do we like about this movie? What did you like, Aaron?
Let's see. I made notes. So I'm thinking, oh gosh, please don't hurt the dog, please don't hurt the dog.
Don't eat it, because we don't know, you know, he's like that kind of alien, right?
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about him eating it. But then he turns around and sees a guy sitting at a cafe who's eating, and he starts yelling at Hulk. So then the next thing you see is the dog is eating at the restaurant, and the guy is locked in the car with a muzzle on his face. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna already like this.
Animal friendly, right?
Animal friendly, so if you're like me, no worries.
What about you, Joel? What did you like about the movie?
Well, it was extremely silly. I expected it, but then they had some jokes that kind of hit you, or they didn't go where you expected it to. So, for instance, the thing with the cat and the girl, the little girl and the cat, that was funny. The thing with the mime. There were a few moments where they hit me with a joke I wasn't expecting, and it was really funny.
And he did laugh out loud.
Yeah, I mean, this film, I mean, just looking at the cover there and having Hulk Hogan in it, my expectations were 0. I thought this is going to be the worst film ever, but I mean, listen, I was so intrigued by the cast. Just having Shelley Duvall, Christopher Lloyd, yes. Hulk Hogan, I'm like, how the hell is this going to work out, right? Larry Miller, that's right.
And he's one of Jerry Seinfeld's best friends.
Yep.
For those who don't know that.
So, yeah, I was excited about seeing this, and like you guys, I thought the humor actually hit the mark sometimes for me.
It really did.
I actually did laugh sometimes, and the story was, you know, cute. This was a family-friendly film, slapsticky, you know, and yeah.
Is this an 80s movie?
1991.
Almost 80s.
1991.
Yeah, you can show it to little kids and not worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, the little kids will probably like it. And there are gangs of little kids in it, so they'll have their own people in there.
It's a dated film, and it's got kids skateboarding and stuff, and
video games in an arcade.
Yeah, it's cool seeing Joust in the background.
Yeah, I picked that up too.
Games. Yes. So now's the part we don't like to do, but you know, for you guys, I gotta do this. You want the truth from Monster Picker, so Monster Picker gives you the truth. What did we not like about this movie?
Well, it was silly. So that's kind of a love-hate thing. I liked that it was silly, but sometimes it was a little too silly. So, definitely not plausible. I didn't like that Christopher Lloyd's boss was Larry Miller, and he was not a good boss that took advantage of him. And he didn't totally get his comeuppance, so I kind of didn't like that. I felt like they could have had a much better resolution to that than him just quitting.
Yeah. What about you, Joel? What didn't you like about Suburban Commando?
Well, unfortunately, the special effects are very dated.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cheesiness to it. I mean, I like cheesy humor. I like silly things, but it almost seemed like at least half to 3/4 of the movie was actually like almost little skits. So rather than being a complete story arc, it was like, okay, you have some story, but then you have these little slapstick bits in the middle of it that really don't have anything to do with the story. So it was it's just very silly.
Yeah, listen, I agree with both of you guys. The special effects are shit. Most of the acting is terrible, and the fight scenes are abysmal. So, and you think Hulk Hogan, he's a wrestler, they're going to have some really great choreographed fights. It's garbage. The scenes are terrible.
But he did pick people up and throw them.
And yeah, so those are, I mean, going back to some of the cool things, I mean, The Undertaker, that wrestler, was in this film.
Oh, really?
One of those the alien guys that was coming to get Hulk Hogan.
Was he the dark-haired one or the other one?
The other one had kind of like reddish beard.
Yeah.
That was The Undertaker.
Okay, I thought he looked familiar. And the other bounty hunter bad guy, I don't know his name, but if you watch the movie, you'll be like, oh, I've seen him in things.
Yes,
and he's
yes.
always a bad guy.
Always a bad
or
guy.
Or a dum-dum.
Yeah.
Always.
When he talked, it was hilarious.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh, that
definitely.
was actually funny.
Also, the alien General Sailor, his reveal.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah, actually the alien suit looked pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that was a decent special effect, especially for that time.
Yeah, absolutely.
It did give a nod to Alien.
Yeah, and Predator. Kind of had the Predator type face, right?
It gives nods to other movies because, of course, Christopher Lloyd being in it, there was some Back to the Future music in it. Did you pick that up?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of a little nod to him, I thought.
Yeah, the actor. Well, and some other things I didn't like about the film. What about the scene where Shelley Duvall wants to pork Christopher Lloyd?
That was a surprise.
And I'm like, oh, good, I'm going to get to see Shelley Duvall naked. And he, of course, he turns her away. So we don't get to see Olive's, sweet olives. So
That's
no
olive oil.
no nudity olive oil in this film.
It is a PG family.
I know.
I, for one, was grateful for that.
And here's another thing. Christopher Lloyd's character. How about when he saves that hot broad? That hot hooker who's about to get raped or murdered or something. And she goes, is there anything I can do to repay you? And he's like, just backing off and he leaves. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me?
He says something like, just helping is my reward. Something along those
But
lines.
you see the little thing on his crotch, it's like beeping. Beep, 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 beep. His crotch is beeping.
Oh, I did not pick up on that.
Oh, wow. Well, maybe that was just me. Maybe my crotch was beeping. Something else I think held this movie back. I don't think Christopher Lloyd was the right pick. I don't think they were mismatched, putting them two together. I think it would have been so much better. Just picture this. The husband lead being either John Candy or Chevy Chase. One of those guys would have been a much better pick.
John Candy would have probably been too heavy for that role.
His wife is Shelley Duvall.
Yeah, but she was insignificant. But John Candy, I can't see him in the role. Chevy Chase, I can see in any role.
Yeah.
He can.
He's like one of the greatest comedic actors.
He can do
right?
anything, yes. So he would have been perfect for it. But I think that was also one of the points of it, them being so mismatched. Because
Yes.
who would ever pair Hulk Hogan with Christopher Lloyd?
What an odd pairing. Yeah. Absolutely. So here we go. This is what everybody comes to the Monster Picker channel for. On the 1 to 5 scale, 5 being the best, what do we give Suburban Commando?
I would say for what it was, I enjoyed it. It held my attention. It wasn't too long. I like all the people that were in it. I'll give it a 3.
Not bad. 3. That's, wow.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3. I
Okay.
actually enjoyed it.
Even with the cat being flung across the street?
Yeah,
or
I didn't
something?
care for that, but I just know that the cat landed on its feet. 'Cause
Well, we
that's,
saw it again later, right? What about you, Joel? 1 to 5, 5 being the best.
I'll give it a solid 2.
Wow, a solitude. Wow, you know, I've been thinking about this, and I've wanted to see this movie for a long time. Hulk Hogan. That was a Hulkamaniac. Jeez. Flux capacitor. You know what? This movie was, I can't believe, this movie was better than it should have been, okay? I'm gonna give this movie a 2. I agree with you, Joel. This movie is a 2. This isn't a good film. Don't get me wrong. This is not a good movie, but man, it was interesting. It held my interest. I enjoyed it.
That's the thing. If you judge it by, does it hold your interest? Is it kind of a fun movie? Do you have any laughs? Yes. There was another female character who was the boss's secretary. She was a badass.
Yeah.
She didn't take crap, and she gave it to Hulk when he was trying to barge in, and she made him wait. And spoiler alert, they ended up together in the end.
Yeah, he's gonna have to have. He has some intergalactic space love with her.
Yeah, so that was sort of fun.
Yeah, that was neat. Yeah. So, anything else you could think of?
Not really.
We were surprised by Shelley Duvall because I don't remember seeing her name in the beginning credits. Maybe I missed it.
I think it's right here on the cover somewhere.
Well, and it was in the
Right there.
ending credits too, and it's possible that we just missed it in the beginning.
Yeah, the movie, it delivers sometimes, and it's a family film. These aren't usually the kind of films Monster Picker likes, but yeah, I actually enjoyed this one. So, we come to the end, and thank you guys for doing this with me.
It's our pleasure.
And I don't have anything to hold up. What the hell am I gonna do? Well, thank you for watching my video, and stay safe.
How long are you going to do this? As long as it takes.